The Navy just released a new photo of the USS Ford in the Mediterranean Sea, and it boasts that the ship is the largest aircraft carrier in the world. A sentiment long awaited by the Navy has finally been expressed in this statement. The Ford class represents a significant step forward for naval warfare in the 21st century. Some have ecstatically dubbed the USS Ford a super carrier due to the ship's large flight deck, which allows for a 33% increase in aircraft sortie rate. A sizable expansion of deck space and redesigned the island's layout, thanks to the speed with which Hellenic warships plowed through the Mediterranean. By being deployed in support of the United States, the USS Ford not only sends a message of NATO capacity and interoperability, but also signals to the world that the United States Navy's Ford-class carriers are present. However, by operating in Mediterranean waters near Greece, the USS Ford places itself in a position to project power into crucial parts of the Middle East and even the Black Sea, despite being under the command of the Navy's 6th Fleet, which oversees U.S. naval activity in many parts of Europe. Networking is probably the biggest and most important part of this, which refers to how well the USS Ford and its supporting U.S. sensor data and real-time data can be shared between Navy ships and their Hellenic counterparts. We have the USS Ford in port. The Navy's process was lengthy, fraught with delays and obstacles, and heavily criticized by members of Congress for being excessively expensive, so the USS Ford's arrival at its operational base couldn't come soon enough. But in spite of the ups and downs of its creation, the Ford is now fully operational with an unprecedented level of next-generation maritime warfare technologies. A few years ago, Navy Ford designers detailed extensive efforts to lessen Ford will incorporate one-time engineering and development costs as the first in-class carrier of a new platform in order to meet schedule demands while keeping costs low. The Navy also highlighted how the increased computer automation allows the carrier to operate with 900 fewer crew members than Nimitz carriers, saving up to $4 billion per ship over the course of the ship's service life through technological advancement. Innovations in computing have made this possible, at least in part. Allow for critical metrics to be collected and analyzed automatically by sophisticated computer algorithms, allowing mechanical systems to be monitored, regulated, and maintained. Automating the tracking and upkeep of ship systems helps the service save money by reducing the need for human labor. Ford's innovative electronic elevator systems, which also experienced delays but are now fully functional, are another example. Having access to this technology is also defining because it allows for the rapid replenishment of weapons and fuel on a massive scale in fighter aircraft, reducing the time that passes in between air attack missions. This technological advancement backs up the increased sortie rate and accelerated operational tempo made possible by the larger flight deck. All of this helps the USS Ford's electromagnetic aircraft launch system function, which is arguably the most innovative part of the ship. After years of research and testing, the system is now operational, launching planes with a rolling magnetic field that is both smoother and more stable than steam and used to launch fighter jets from the flight deck. Catapults. An electromagnetic catapult has many benefits because it enables a more gentle takeoff with much less damage to aircraft. The USS Ford's high operational tempo and increased sortie rate are bolstered by the fact that something that extends the service life of emails is also much faster, allowing for multiple aircraft to take off in rapid succession. All of the ship's electronics, including the flagship of a new class of aircraft carriers, are powered by 4-megawatt generators on board. There were high hopes for the game-changing USS Gerald R. Ford, which boasts a larger flight deck, a more powerful power plant, and the ability to use nearly 24 cutting-edge technologies. The Ford's nuclear reactor and propulsion system would generate 3 times as much electricity as those of the Nimitz-class aircraft carriers that came before it. Its cutting-edge weapons elevators would transport 20,000 pounds of ammunition at a rate of 150 feet per minute, up from the Nimitz's rate of 50 feet per minute. And its innovative launch and recovery system would be able to accommodate aircraft with a takeoff weight of up to 50,000 pounds. The ship's innovations to save time, money, and crew would completely change the way the United States military constructed and used carriers, allowing them to handle 270 planes in a single day from bow to stern. For 50 years, the Ford could proudly represent American superiority, sending a message of force to America's enemies. The USS Gerald R. Ford CVN-78 will be 10 times larger than the USS Langley CV-1, making it the largest and most powerful warship ever built. The USS Ford, the country's first aircraft carrier, will set a new standard. these battleships are the most powerful and advanced ever built. The USS Gerald R. Ford is a watershed moment in the development of American naval vessels. Its revolutionary design and cutting-edge systems are emblematic of the country's aspiration to maintain its position as the world's preeminent military power. With a length of over 1,000 feet and a dead weight of over 100,000 tons, this Ford-class aircraft carrier will be the longest and most powerful in history. The USS Gerald R. Ford can hold more planes, helicopters, and fighters than ever before. Able to effectively deal with a wide range of contemporary threats thanks to its superior defense systems. The United States will have greater and more adaptable power projection capabilities as a result of all of this. Indeed, the USS Gerald R. Ford will come to represent the unmatched military might of the United States around the world.